Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for having a look at the video. Sorry I haven't posted in a number of weeks, but I just had a few things come up, and then I had a small bit of surgery on my jaw and I couldn't talk, so it ended up being a longer break than what I thought. Shout out to some of the followers that have sent some questions and stuff and emails, and I'll get to them today and tomorrow and answer all them, so really sorry, but back on track now, and Uncle Chris, your package is here and it's ready to go, so we'll get all that sorted, so it's back to normal now, hopefully. Today we continue on with that Araki Army 1990-91 Golf War build, and the last video we just sort of took them off these bases and now we're starting to put them back on. I'll just move these guys out of the way that are just here, and all I've done here is just put the scuds on because last video we got the bottom painted, and this is that 6mm or 1:25 scale stuff. So we'll get some paint onto the bottom of them just with a spray can in a sec, and what we're going to do now is just go back to basing the vehicles, just onto some old bottle tops, and that's just so we can do a bit of dry brushing and stuff like that, so they haven't got too much more detail that I'll put on them before we're finished, but we'll use some panel line colours just to get some highlights on them and stuff, and a bit of dry brushing in this video, so that's what we're trying to get to today. So I got them based. I'll just move them out of the shop for a second. Sorry if I'm talking a little bit funny, it's just because of my my teeth and what I had done, the work I had done. First thing I do is paint the bottom of these, and we'll let them dry. I'm just going to use a bit of a paper towel as the background, and the colour we used to paint them originally was light sand, so we're just going to go back to that light sand as our colour, TS46, and we'll just spray just a tiny bit across the backs. So even though they're going to be weathered, we're going for a real weathered look with this build. So I'll just hold this. Probably won't be able to get it all in the camera shot, but maybe it can. I'll just hold it about 10-15 centimeters away, and I'll just give it a light coat, and that'll be it. Beautiful. That's the bases done. The rocket's tidied up, so we've got two on the left there with the top latching lock which goes across the top of the tail, hold them in. The rest are just sort of spares. So yeah, that's what I'll do for them, and I'll let them dry. Next video we'll look at them because we'll probably put them back on and all that sort of stuff. So we're finished with that now. Can move this bit of paper towel. Best to use a painting tray, but hey, first video back since yeah, I had all that stuff happen. So what we're going to do now is we've got two trucks and one of the tails, and I'll just bring this tail up. Oh, I can take this glove off now. Bring this tail up, and that's sort of the stage we were at last video. And here I'll just bring one into the shot, which is just had a bit of dry brushing across those tyres, across the vehicle, and a little bit of panel line colouring, which is black. So the one on the right, the red lid, we'll do with a brown, but the one on the left was done with a black, which was done off camera, and a little bit of dry brushing on those tyres. So you can just sort of see that, the effect, how that dry brushing can just highlight those tyres a bit. So the one on the right to me looks a little bit too like a model that's been painted poorly, and the line on the left looks a bit more like a weathered vehicle that you might see in the desert. So that's the sort of look we're going for. And for the highlighting, I'm just using this panel line, which is a brown. So give them a good shake. Yeah, clear containers glass bottles, so you can sort of see if it's broken up. And I'm just out of the shot, sorry there with it, but just get some onto that and I'll just go around and just put a bit anywhere and just let it run around. That's the beauty of this stuff. It'll find its own way around. And you don't need heaps, like as everything I do, we'll do this build again, but we'll do like that sort of parade look, so we won't have this sort of weathered look next time we do the vehicles. Yeah, so just keep going around, and it does highlight those little areas, so it's good. Of course you can use a brush and paint from a brush. So I'll just go around and keep going around like that. Get in all those gaps. So that's a good start. And I'll do the same thing with the trucks as well. So I've got a truck here. Just get a little bit of that colour on the little brush and just work that brown in across this canopy too. Give that a little bit of colour. GHQ do such a good job with their detailing of their models. You can take your time and really highlight some of their details, some of the details they've put into the trucks and vehicles. Just go around, give them a good bit of colour. And yeah, the reason I sort of stopped videos for a bit is because I couldn't talk. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I like to talk, or you'd like the sound of my own voice. And this is one without that camouflage on it. So if you wanted to go without the camouflage, but you want to put some colour into it, this is how I do it. Just try and chase some of those lines. And that can give it a real good weathered look too. So work my way around, get them all up to that sort of standard. And here's one that's had that dry brushing on it, on the tyres as well, so you can sort of see the difference. But when the one on the right dries, you'll see good lines on it. So that's what I'll do for that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to just white or ivory. And we're going to get an old brush, just an old daggy brush where the bristles aren't too soft but not too hard, and we'll use that for dry brushing. So I've got a palette here, and I'll put a little bit of white paint just on the palette, and we're gonna do that dry brushing. So this is one that's already had that bit of dry brushing on it. You can sort of see it, and I've just used white, but you can use a brown as well. I mean, I like the dusty desert look of the white. So once I've got a little bit of that white on the end of that brush, I'll just brush it out a little bit, just like this. So I just dab it. I'll just dab it in there, brush it out a little bit, and brush it out a little bit more in the palette. And then I'll bring the vehicle in and just do some highlights. You really want to let that panel line dry first, but I'm speeding up for the video, and I try and get a bit of that white on those tyres. I want to highlight those tyres a bit. So just go across, and any spots like that where you get a little bit too much white maybe on the tyres, you're not too happy with it, we can touch that up in the next video with another colour, that's fine. So just go around and dry brush them, grab another vehicle, same thing, a little bit of that white, and then just dry brush it across. You can see where the tyres change colour there, got a little bit more sort of dusty look on them. So a little bit of white, brush a fair bit of it out, and then come across and white highlighting it as well as dulling it down. So a bit of a dull down on that, and I'll go across and do the rest off camera, and that brings our Iraqi vehicles a little bit closer to being done. So I'll get them tidied up and finished off camera, just using those techniques I just showed then. And it's great to be back, and thank you to everyone who supports the channel and by watching the videos or putting up a like or asking a question, stuff like that. I might be a bit rusty for the next few days, but we'll start getting more videos out as much as I can. If there's a build you'd like to see, put in the comments. We've got a couple of things people want to see. In fact, the next one, I'll just move them back, was someone asked about building one of these, the MH53J pave low helicopter. So let us know in the comments if that's something you want to see built, but someone asked for that and I thought it'd be interesting. I've got a couple of them there, and someone also asked for M113s for the Vietnam build. So they're pretty basic to build. By basic I mean there's not too many colours involved in it, so you might look at doing some of them in the GHQ stuff. The helicopter build we had going has come to a bit of a stop. Someone obviously didn't like it, and I don't know if we'll get back to it, but I was just giving an honest opinion of the model, and yeah, it wasn't well received by some powerful people. So we'll see how we go with that, try and get back to it if we can, otherwise there'll be delay in that 15mm helicopter build. I won't say the name of it or anything, but yeah, I think people know what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching the video, and more videos very soon. See ya.